is Nintendo out of touch with reality?
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, that's right. We're back, and that's the clickbait tagline I'm going with. You know, yeah, we were gone for a little bit. We had to skip Friday. I was on vacation. I had to hang out with my girlfriend. It was really fun, but you know, it just I
Ain't
missed you
nobody got
guys.
time for that.
I missed you guys. I missed you guys a lot. So yeah, did you have a good? How was your President's Day weekend? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, I wish,
Hung
I
out.
wish, I wish Elden Ring was just smart enough to. I just wish they released it a week early. Like
Dude, this week
um,
is so bad. I have the Destiny expansion tomorrow. I got Elden Ring Friday. I don't have enough time. I need to quit my full-time job.
and then
I just
I
need
realized
to
that
play games.
I have so on Thursday I'm going to a concert that's 2 hours away, and then then I'm gonna get home, want to play Elden Ring midnight, and then be like, I'm already deaf. I'm asleep. So yeah, so back to Nintendo though. Okay, so Nintendo does these weird fluctuations of being out of touch in reality and then also trying to be consumer friendly, but this is one of those times where they're just completely out of touch. Uh, over the weekend, which was what 18th to the 20th of February, they
Yeah.
there's the free online playtest for Switch Sports, which I missed out on unfortunately. I don't think you participated, right?
No.
Yeah, I wish. Uh, and apparently, when you register to participate in the online play, you agreed to not share any information about the online playtest publicly, including screenshots or video footage. Uh,
I don't know why
really?
they're on lockdown. It's the
No, I know.
it's Wii Sports.
I know. I understand. There's going to be intense spoilers. Like no one knows this, but there's a lot of lore behind Switch, behind Wii Sports, behind all the sports games. Like there's so much lore. They don't want anyone to talk
They got
about
to
it.
keep it hidden.
It's like, dude, you won't believe it, but in the tennis portion, you can play doubles.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's well, we didn't participate, so we can talk about whatever we want. Which I mean, again, we
That's
didn't
right.
play it, so I'm gonna assume that it went relatively well. But I mean, if no one's allowed to talk about it, maybe I don't know why they're doing this. I really, what do you think? Like, what do you think they're doing this?
I can't see why. I can't imagine anybody's gonna have anything bad to say about this game, right?
Well,
The worst thing people can say is like, "Oh, why aren't all the games in it from the start?"
what
But
about the
like,
online
who
part
cares?
though? I think that's what they're afraid of.
Right. If it was like a real buggy mess and we don't get the rollback netcode for it, then nobody's gonna play it online. But
Which is
everybody's still gonna play it split screen. Like, you
right,
know.
but me. I mean, I'm hoping with this playtest they're actually trying to do stuff with their infrastructure, like
Right.
because they don't usually do. They usually do online playtests. I don't.
No.
I can't think of it.
I
Like I don't think so. Right? I
They
mean,
didn't even do one for like Smash, I feel like, right? Like way back. They did like the demo on the 3DS and Wii U
that was
version.
awesome. I played that.
Yeah.
That was the best
That
demo
demo I put
ever.
hours and hours into.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, that was a great demo. Yeah, I don't know what the problem here is. Why they're making it hush hush. It's literally a sports game. Like it's just weird, right? It's just really
Yeah,
weird.
it's just nonsense.
Because and everyone wants to play it too. Like it's gonna be
Right. People
fun.
have been asking for this since the Switch came out. Like
Could you
everybody wants
we
this.
talked about before? Imagine if they bundled this with like the OLED. Man, that
Uh,
thing would sell so
so
unrealistically well.
they did confirm that this game does not play on the Switch Lite,
I was just
though,
gonna ask you
like over
that.
the
That
weekend.
sucks. That's
Yeah, people I guess downloaded it on there and you can't launch it at all.
that's
Which I guess makes sense, but like you can hook Joy-Cons up to the Switch Lite, so
you can.
like I don't see why you can't just play on the screen as much as that sucks, but
That's wow. That's actually depressing, and that's really dumb, huh?
no.
That man, like I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I can understand why people would want to switch light, and then there's stuff like this. It's just like you literally can't play certain games on it. Like what was it, Mario Galaxy? That was like it's impossible to play on the Switch Lite because of the touch screens.
Right.
Yeah,
But you
like
need the motion controls. Yeah.
right. Like you can use your thumb. Like that's incredibly awkward on that game.
Yeah. That is awful.
So yeah, and so they point out in their terms and conditions that online playtest software is under development and may not be reflective of the full version of Nintendo Switch Sports. You may experience unexpected behavior or errors while playing. Okay, but where was
That
this
doesn't
for
sound good.
everything else though? Like,
Right.
again, I mean, unless they're just testing something new, because I mean, I don't want to say this game will live or die based on its online play, but I think it'll add a lot of longevity if you can play it online. I want to play the sword fighting.
Especially with the ranking. What did they have? What were they called? The clubs or whatever?
I thought that was just
Like
for.
people are gonna play that like crazy.
I thought the club's just for strikers.
Oh, is that for strikers?
Yeah, I think it's only for strikers. I think I don't remember saying anything about a club for Switch Sports. I want to say Wii Sports so bad. I would like that. I would love to like yeah. I'm in the Smashing clan. Yeah, we play exclusively tennis and volleyball. So yeah, come at me, bro.
Number 1 in badminton in the world,
dude.
Ladies,
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter. I'm top 100 in badminton. That's right. You heard me. Dude, real note though, if I saw like a Switch sport tournament at like college, I would have been all over that.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? That would have been so great. I would have wore like a sweatband and like the tennis shorts and
I want to be
really
like
got into it.
An anime sports attire where oh god, I would love to just over exaggerate it so much. That's like the only excitement I have. Well, not the only excitement. That's one of the biggest excitements I have for it. And like, well, either way. So again, I don't know why they're trying to be hush hush, but you guys should let us know. Everyone in there, including YouTube and everywhere podcasts are available, and Twitter and Discord. Hit us up for Discord links. It's a fun time. We actually, I'm not sure it's going to be up on this episode, but we just updated literally all our social media with our new and improved icons that we actually had to get artistic payment for. That was a fun time, but nonetheless, that's right. We do it all for you guys, so please like and love us. Sell out. That's right. Also, Fortnite for the algorithm. I'm just gonna throw it in there. Yeah, Fortnite. Okay, so we kind of I don't think we talked about it. Did we talk about last episode about Street Fighter, the countdown, or were we talking about?
We talked about it like right at the end.
Right. I mean, it's what we figured. Street Fighter 6 was officially announced. Literally no release date. They said they're going to talk more about it in the summer. It just has Ryu and the newest character Luke, who's the 45th and final Street Fighter 5 character. I'm not a huge fan of CGI teaser trailers. I understand it, I guess, in this situation.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think bearded Ryu is way cooler. And I feel like his dimensions are kind of weird. I feel like his head's a little smaller, too small for his body. But it makes me wonder if Tekken's going to come out this year as well.
Probably. They ended like their DLC for the last Tekken, like I think last year.
They both ended on the same year. I think they always come out on the same year, like they always compete with each other, which is fine. But this is going to be different because in this Street Fighter specifically, the producer who literally was with the company for 30 years left, so it's a new producer for the game. So
interesting.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Street Fighter 5, the launch was a disaster. That it was super buggy. The online barely worked.
Abysmal.
Yeah, there was no like single player mode. It was really bad at launch. So I mean, I'm hoping that they rectify this and have an insane launch for this game, but
right.
I mean, Street Fighter 5 ended on a really good note though. Like now it's like known as one of the best like fighting games of all time. Where you got all these updates, you got a crap ton of characters. I'm not going to touch this game until Akuma comes out. I've always wanted to get good at Street Fighter using Akuma, But
Right.
there's something with my brain when it comes to combo fighters. It just like doesn't click, and now like I'll get like panicky and like hit all the buttons when like I'm in a bad position. It's very
Right.
depressing. Not with Smash, but like games that literally require like quarter
Like the
circle.
combos
Right,
stuff.
right, right.
Yeah.
And then I can't play like Fighter Z because it's like you have to learn 3 characters just for one battle. I'm like, I don't got time for that. I got time for
Yeah.
one, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hope it does good. I hope they learned from the last one's mistakes. I also hope they just uh, it needs like some changes, I feel like even 5, like it was really good, but like the core of it was like really stale. So
Yeah, but I don't know how much more they can do. I mean, they could try
right.
tag fighting again, which I mean, it's like I understand the market, but I'm not a huge fan of. Uh, they're probably gonna have more microtransactions and stuff. I'm curious if it's actually going to release this year because they said more information in the summer. Now, if that's the case, the end of this year is stupid stacked. Like, we assume Street
So
Fighter
bad.
6. We're gonna, Breath of the Wild 2. We're assuming. Uh, let's see. Summer in general is Splatoon 3. It's like,
Right. Splatoon 3, Mario Soccer,
uh,
Xenoblade in September for those guys.
uh, everything.
It's a good year.
Yeah, we eating good. Oh, and apparently I didn't realize this, but apparently they also announced the Capcom Fighting Collection, an anthology of 10 classic titles, including the
It looks pretty
full
cool. I never like played any of them, but
I never heard of Darkstalker. Wait, does this include
that's
Marvel
the
vs.
one.
Capcom? Oh,
No, I
yeah. I was
wish.
gonna say like that would be that alone would be worth it. If
I
it
think
had that, I would buy it.
Darkstalker's the one that Morgana's from like Marvel vs. Capcom, the like witch lady.
Yeah. Mhm.
It
Oh,
looks pretty cool.
oh,
Oh, like that was
I
it.
thought
That was all
you were
they
going.
announced. Oh
I
no,
the
no,
way you
no.
phrased your sentence, it sounded like you're going farther. Okay. I
But,
mean,
like that was it. That was like all their announcements. It was just like Street Fighter 6 and
they probably just wanted to
the
let it be
collection.
known. You know.
I feel like too Capcom like is always like they always have stuff going on, between like Resident Evil and Monster Hunter, Street Fighter. Capcom's probably the most like what's the word? Like on track, like all the time. Like they always have something they can be working on and releasing, which is nice.
What they should be working on releasing is Lost Planet 5. Wait,
Oh my
wait,
God,
Lost Planet.
man.
Wait, was there a Lost Planet 4? No, right?
Lost Planet 4. Yeah.
Beginning
Lost Planet 4 is the next one.
Wait, but yeah, oh, this is ID Wiki. Ugh, God. What a joke of a website. F you. Really? Like I was just making sure. I'm like, I don't think there's Lost Planet 4, but I was doubting myself. And then it's like I see the tagline Lost Planet 4. It's a third-person shooter game developed and published by Capcom. It's a team with Lost Planet 3. I'm like, really? When did this come out? And then it screwed me. I love Lost Planet. I mean, I feel like 3 wasn't that good. 1 was like absolute perfection. God, I would.
2 was
kill.
great with the co-op. The co-op like made that game survive.
And on this
the story was really bad.
This new generation, man, of console, it'd be so. It'd be like what I want Titanfall 3 to be, which is never coming out because Apex Legends making too much money.
Oh no.
Sad. Do I have it on here? But I do have Rainbow. Okay, we'll talk about Rainbow Six in a few minutes. Excuse me. So, okay, Halo Infinite. They're getting a mid-season update. Bring improvements to campaign, multiplayer, all that fun stuff, yada yada. But there's also it's like a leak, I guess. But apparently they have like 10 maps in the works for DLC, I guess free DLC. And I think that's desperately needed. It definitely just needed more maps to begin with, let alone like
right,
and let alone for a competitive or anything like that. But the maps aren't bad, but they don't feel none of them feel like a classic. Which
right.
I feel like
none of them are like Blood Gulch or like
right.
They don't feel like they're going to be a classic in like 10 years when we look back.
Right.
My favorite update they're adding is they're adding a range. They're upgrading the range of motion tracker in Big Team Battle, but like you can't play Big Team Battle. So what is the point?
What Big Team Battle? What's that?
It's that mode they fixed, and then it didn't work, and they were like, "Oopsie."
What? Whoops. Yeah. Someone let this switch off. It's supposed to be on, but we're keeping it off for some reason. We refuse to fix this. You don't deserve big team battle. Like,
Right.
you don't
You
deserve
all
it.
mocked us. We killed Battlefield, and you mocked us.
It's again, none of it feels like Blood Gulch. None of it feels like what was it, Sandlot? I think it was called.
Oh, Guardian. That's what I was thinking of
there's
from
also
Halo
Guardian.
3. That's like my favorite map.
Blackout. Blackout was really good.
Oh yeah.
Blackout was really good. I mean, Halo 3 had such insane. I would argue almost all the maps on Halo 3 were classics. Not that I can think of any to mind, even the DLC ones.
It really was. It really was like only like 1, 2, and 3. Like
right.
I don't even think I can name a map from 4 or 5, or
Bungie
even like Reach for that example.
Bungie was just really good at making maps, at least during that time. 343, yeah, there's not a single map I can think of from 343 that's like, wow, this is the best map ever. Which is kind of a shame because Halo multiplayer lives off its like iconic maps. But I'm gonna imagine that like that leak about the new maps is gonna coincide with Forge mode. They're like, oh yeah, I mean, which it still needs in co-op. Wait, what they push Forge mode, not co-op, right? That's what was delayed again.
I think co-op's coming out first now.
Yeah,
but like they both were delayed to summer. I think spring or summer.
I mean, at least they changed the store up. I mean, I like the new improvements. The like the prices.
Doing good with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, I hope it works out. I want to see more maps. I mean, I still have fun playing the game when I go back to it. There's just so much I'm playing right now that it's just, unfortunately, Halo's taking a backseat. Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's nice because we don't have to worry about like the battle pass or anything. Like it can sit there forever and we can get to it whenever.
I just keep an eye on like the weekly, like not achievement, but like what you get from the weekly.
Oh, the challenge.
If it's an emblem, I'm like, I don't care. But if it's like, maybe an armor piece or something, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll do it. So that's nice. Yeah. Okay. I really want to talk about this. Call of Duty's Warzone, new anti-cheat, which is called Ricochet. It gives players a damage shield against cheaters. I was reading through this. I'm not sure how in depth you saw this article, but basically, I think it's pretty ingenious. If the system detects that you're a cheater, you'll be unable to kill anyone else in the game. And then during that time, once it knows that you're a cheater, it wants you to stay alive because it's collecting data on you and your cheating software.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's really. I mean, that's a really cool way. It's a really cool way to like figure out how they're cheating, but also how to make it so they don't do harm to other how they don't ruin the game.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's like a genius move.
Yeah, it says when the server detects a cheater is tampering with the game in real time, it disables the cheater's ability to inflict critical damage on other players. This mitigation leaves the cheater vulnerable to real players and allows Team Ricochet to collect the information about a cheater system. That's so like ingenious. It just sucks that like if I can't, even though I can't like do a critical hit on you, even if I'm assuming I'm a cheater, that would also mean that other people can. So it's like assuming they're not a cheater. So like I could weaken you to 1, and then someone else just puts 1 bullet into you. But I mean, what are you gonna do, right? I can't imagine cheaters are playing in squads, but I don't know much about that. I'm not sure how it's going to affect.
I assume they're going into like solo queues and just tearing up the map themselves.
God, I hate cheaters. Did I tell you a friend of ours cousin was permabanned from Xbox for cheating? It's just like, dude,
amazing.
I don't have any sympathy, man.
No,
that's just messed up. Like, it just ruins the experience for everyone, bro. Just stop.
And like, are these people really having that much fun doing this? Just like ruining other people's fun?
Yeah, like go do Fortnite if you want to ruin other people's fun. Like,
right? You really want to get an outrage? Go ruin Fortnite. Like,
go build some.
Are you on Call of Duty? Right?
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Yeah, so it's called Damage Shield. Being tested and deployed across everywhere. They still have apparently other plans in work, but they aren't they want to reveal them yet because they don't want to ruin the surprise for unsuspecting cheaters. Which, I mean, that makes sense. I know they're trying to be edgy with their wording, but realistically, if you tell them in advance how they're going to stop them, they're going to like, the cheater going to try and future proof their software. Yeah. But Siege kind of does the same, not with cheaters, but it does the same thing in terms of friendly fire, where like once it detects that you're trying to cause friendly fire, or like if someone votes that you do it purposely, then it actually ricochets the damage back onto you. The only problem with this is that, like, if you there are times where you accidentally kill multiple teammates, and it will like either immediately boot you, like if you throw a grenade, you throw a grenade and kills like 3 people, accident, and it is an accident. It'll either boot you or just like turn it on automatically, and it's like, But I don't know how they could possibly detect if you're intentional or not,
Right. Like Sieges is like perfect. They need to have like when you throw a grenade, like a radius thing almost, and just see if there's like an enemy ping in that like radius. So they're like, oh, he was throwing it at that guy. The other guy just kind of ran in there.
That I like that. Wow, that's a really good idea. The only flaw is that like
Ubisoft, I'm copywriting that. If you take that, I'm suing. All right, listen here.
The only flaw with that plan is sometimes you'll accidentally kill a teammate because you're throwing an impact to open a wall, and they just walk in front of you, whether intentionally or accidentally. Right. So, I mean, in that case, there's no one really around you. So, hopefully this whole ricochet thing gets not fixed, but like worked on more until Warzone 2 comes out at some point this year, or was it next? I think it's this year. Yeah,
I think it's this year's one. Yeah.
So as we talk about Rainbow Six Siege, they finally announced the 7th year. So they're finally bringing back a year pass, and in this case, they actually made it more enticing because now when you buy the year pass, it gives you all 4 seasons battle passes, but it also gives you 20 tiers unlocked from the start for each of them, and that's a very interesting way to. Yeah, that's very smart. It's like because
I like it a lot better because I missed buying like 2 of the newer characters because I didn't log on to buy the battle pass. Whereas like I used to buy just the season pass, and I'd have them all for whenever I got on to play it again.
Right. Right. No, yeah, I agree. And they announced a new operator and all their fun stuff. They're finally adding cross progression in the season 4. Thank the Lords. I've been
finally. Honestly, we could switch to PS5 and Series X and get the 4K on there.
It's like, I want to. The problem is I really want to know how different it's going to be with a controller. Like in that kind of game, I feel like it's going to be night and day from mouse.
It's definitely nicer with a mouse and keyboard.
But for someone like you who's PC isn't as strong, it'd definitely be an upgrade no matter what. For me, it's like it's either or, but it's still nice. Like I love cross progression. Unfortunately, I'm now almost against cross play because PC people just cheat on it just ruins it ruins for everyone else. And like in Warzone, it's like you can it's so hard to disable crossplay, at least on Xbox, that it's like I don't want to play with PC players anymore because they just cheat. Or like, and I'm not saying all PC players, obviously, but it just, you're more likely to come across a cheater than you are than you are in console play, because it's so much harder to cheat on consoles. They released the roadmap like they usually do. I didn't know this, but they're in year 1. This will be the first new competitive map in 3 years. This is like, and I'm talking about like new, by competitive map, I mean new in general. For the last 3 years, they've been reworking old maps. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I also miss the days where you get 2 operators per season, but it's like I kind of understand because they were probably crunching really hard for 2 operators. Now there's so many, it's like they're probably like, we don't want to run the well dry in terms of ideas,
Right. And 7 years worth of operators,
Yeah. So it's like I understand it. It kind of sucks, but so they're coming with new privacy mode for streamers, new disconnect detection improvements, all the fun stuff. Match replay for console, which are kind of cool if you're into that. I don't. New content is attacker repick team death. Oh yeah, I saw this. Yeah, they're coming out with like I think a permanent new team deathmatch mode. So there's no
That's
objective.
kind of cool.
Yeah, and there's like specific maps into the rotation. I like that. I think it makes better for
Right.
practice than it does like for real play. But um,
Right.
it's very it'll be very interesting on how it works. Like, will it? It says attack. Well, it says attacker repick. So it's like, can you only play attackers? Which would be kind of weird. Like
Yeah, I don't know.
it kind of well either way. Um, and then season 2, another new map which is kind of crazy. There's always there. I guess every season now they're coming out with an event / arcade mode.
That's nuts.
But apparently
They pump out those events.
And they're apparently reworking ranked. I don't understand how, because in season 3 it just says ranked 2.0.
Yeah.
And then the last season says permanent arcade. So I'm not sure. I guess they're just adding like arcades in this game. Usually, like when the season ends, the arcade mode goes away. But maybe they're just gonna hold them there permanently. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but
cool, I guess.
I mean, this is like the one great Ubisoft game they just like knocked out of the park. At launch it was like pretty buggy
still
stuff.
Are doing it like consistently.
Right. I remember like years ago they said they want to get to like 100 operators. It was just like, yeah, almost like 15 years. It's like especially and that was before they went down to 1 operator per season. So that's 4. That's like actually that's gonna be it's 4 operators in a year. That's that's like you're gonna need like 20 plus years to get there at this point.
Right.
So and plus this is a game that at least you and I we really like to play, and like if I had a full team I would love to go competitive in this, but I'm getting too old and sad.
Yeah.
But it's still really fun
when younglings anymore.
When we are playing though, it is really fun. It's definitely that fun game to go back to at least.
Yeah. Yeah, every now and then.
Okay, so I put an article up here for us. I don't think we talked about EA admitting Battlefield 4 failed because of Halo and COVID.
I think we talked about Battlefield like underperforming.
Gotcha.
They had said like originally or something, but yeah, then they updated it and blamed it on Halo and COVID.
It's like in a sense I can understand COVID, even though it's like an easy fallback. You can blame anything on COVID at this point.
Right.
I mentioned that it was funny that they were releasing Battlefield 2042 and Halo happens to surprise release, a month early for the multiplayer. So like, that's not even their fault though. When it comes to like when we were talking about, I remember we talked about how like I said that EA needs to stop competing in terms of like time wise against Call of Duty, like the 2-week window, but Halo did not help that at all either. I feel bad. I mean, I kind of feel bad. Either way, it's like, dude, then you should have delayed it again. Like, I'm sorry. It's not really our fault that you didn't delay it, that there were better choices out there,
Yeah. It's not our fault. You just do not learn that you cannot compete with these guys anymore.
Oh, what is
you flabbergast the launch for these games.
What is that now? What's the petition at? There was a petition when we first talked about it. It was at like 15,000. I thought I wasn't gonna like get.
Oh. I don't remember.
I think at this point it's like over 100,000 at some point. I think
200,000 signatures. 5 days ago.
That's a big oof. I should get that as a soundboard. Or Roblox might come after us. Yeah, that's not a good sign. That like
it's currently at 221,000.
That's a lot for wanting. I mean they'll never well actually no, I think they said in the signature thing that like if it hits a certain milestone they're gonna get like a lawyer to look into it.
Right.
So I mean that'd be interesting. If it was considered false advertising. Yeah, it says here EA release of 2042 was a mockery of every customer who purchases video game for $70 due to EA's false advertising. It says it has cost consumers millions of dollars in damages and upset thousands of customers worldwide. I don't know where it gets this cost consumers millions of dollars in damages part, but
yeah, I don't know what damages. the people that were pissed and like smashed their walls and
Do you
controllers or whatever.
do you remember the video of like the guy trying to return Fallout 76 at the GameStop and the guy's
And
like
they
you
just
can't.
knocked the stand down. Yeah.
That's how I picture the Valve 2042.
Yeah.
But look, to be fair, there's been plenty of stories of how like games will just like they'll be crap at launch and then there's years of work will make it into an amazing game. Cause like I was reading, I didn't put it up here, but actually I do have it up here. That like Fallout 76, like they had a new content roadmap for this year.
Right.
And I've been reading that like everyone's like loving it now after all these updates and like improvements. I've been saying we should try it again.
What was it called? The Wildlands expansion they did for it, where they actually added like NPCs and stuff like that. Apparently, it's amazing. I have it installed on the Xbox. I want to try it again.
Yeah, we definitely have to try that. So like
same with what was the other one we had up? Oh, No Man's Sky. Like No Man's Sky was a disaster when it launched. And like look at that game now. Like they just added in these
like
mech
more combat
robot, like it's like mech fights and stuff like that. It looks so cool.
And
it's coming to Switch. Like, come on.
Sean Murray literally said that they're not nearly done with the game, which is kind of crazy to me. I don't know where they're getting the funding for it. Like, are people really still like are plenty of people still buying it to a point where it's justified to keep like working on it at this point? It has to. Yeah, it has to. Which
how many like?
But like to be fair, I'm like because I think they have a very I'm not sure who their marketing team is, but literally every time there's like an update, they always like slash it by like 60% on Steam, and it's like right there alone is probably where they get their boost in sales. But I don't think it doesn't have like a battle pass or anything, right? There's no like microtransactions.
I don't know. I haven't played the game since like launch.
Well, play the game and get back to me.
And it only has like 247 views on like Twitch and stuff. What is it?
I always think that a lot of people like to compare Twitch views to like player base. I just don't think that's the case. I don't like that kind of comparison.
It has like 6,000 average players in the last 30 days on Steam.
I just don't get it then.
I mean that's like a solid amount, I guess. But like
I guess, but like for a game that doesn't have any microtransactions?
Yeah, like, people just play it, I guess, and they're loving it. They'll keep buying it, I guess. So
I
mean, the game sold really well when it came out. Maybe that was just it. Like that has just been funding them this whole time.
But then when they've just worked on a new game during that time too, I mean, but see, what I never understood is do they have to pay back if there's a refund, or does Steam or whoever like is the storefront?
I assume the storefront keeps it on like hold and like pays out at like the end of the month. So if there's like a return or something like that, it's just like they don't get it right away.
Because I don't know, because there are so many refunds, mine included, for that game when it came out, kind of like with Cyberpunk, that I felt like there are just so many. I don't know how they stayed afloat,
Right.
I just want to see if they do have to pay. Steam refunds, who pays? Let's see. My assumption is the game revenue is still in Valve. Let's see. It's been a while since I was involved in Steam-based game, but from my memory, revenue is deposited by Valve into the developer's bank account on a monthly basis. So essentially, a refund taken from the game's revenue while it's still in Valve's account. In that case, did that solve that? Huh. Let's see. Some say they buy your game in the X. Well, either way, will still be. Oh, okay. So that's why. So, if it's within the first of the 14 days of the purchase of the game, it's still with Steam. So Steam pays that out because they didn't give that money to the game studio yet. But after that point, if you're still able to return it, you basically have to the game studio pays.
Right.
Which makes sense.
Okay, so it had like $80 million in sales.
Really? Uh-huh.
And I get the team's like super small apparently, and there's no like It's not like there's no shareholders or anything like that, so they're not like paying into that or anything. So it's literally just them working on the game.
I just feel like Sean Murray just has like a whip. He's just like, code faster.
Make it better. Add more stars.
Galaxies, go, go. I will be made a fool again. So well, good for them. Well, I don't know how we transitioned from Battlefield to because games that worked on themselves, but EA doesn't do that though. Just to clarify, like they never work on a game,
No.
So
they'll leave it to die. But then like with Battlefield 5, like that game was like perfect when it like ended. Was dead,
right?
Yeah. So.
Well, anyway, so Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, we didn't talk about this, right? This was before our break.
Oh no, they're having problems on. Dude, they cannot win.
Like they. Well, I mean, so the teaser was that yes, it was the the next gen upgrade. What a surprise that was. Apparently, there's like a problem with a 60 FPS. Well, actually, they're not their problem. They're trying to implement 60 FPS mode on the Xbox Series S, and they said they quote don't know if it will be possible. Big yikes!
Just don't even try. Like why break the game again on that system if it's gonna ruin it? Come on, learn from your mistakes.
I just to me it's conflicting. I personally never really understood the point of the Series S. Like I get it's all digital.
I still don't.
But
yeah, it's useless though. It's literally like an Xbox. It's less than an Xbox One X, and has a 500 gigabyte hard drive. Like it's garbage.
Mind you, only 380 of that can be used.
Right. So by the time you buy a Series S and then buy the expansion card for $200, you could have just bought a Series X. Right. And had a much better system.
It still blows my mind that this game's on Stadia. I totally forgot Stadia was a thing in terms of like,
Did you see that the new like My Hero 1 Justice 2 came to Stadia the other day? And I was like, I thought this system was dead. Did we not talk about that?
It's like I'm getting Stadia right now. We talked about that Stadia, like they're secretly trying to sell the technology behind it.
Right. And these companies keep releasing games for it. Like, what is wrong with that?
I don't think keep is the right word. I think like reluctant to. I just like right. I guess we'll just throw it on there. Let's see here.
One copy.
Yeah, so like the Series S it has everything that it's supposed to have with everything else, like all the updates. The only thing it's missing from this checklist I'm looking at is ray tracing, local shadows, and DualSense control features, because obviously it's not it's not a PlayStation. With that said, though, look, anyone, at least with this game, when you turn on quality mode, you're literally turning on ray tracing, and it's not worth it. You just get nice water reflections. Okay, like I look. I'll give it this. Spider-Man Miles Morales, like the ray tracing in that game is phenomenal. Like you see yourself like in the windows and everything looks great. That I get that, but it is. I'm maybe it's just me and I'm in the minority here, but I'm not willing to trade ray tracing for 30 FPS. I'm not cutting my frames in half for this game.
Right.
I'm
still not even gonna play this game. I don't care if there's a next gen version.
I'm not sure if it's on PlayStation. I heard that on Xbox there's a trial you can try. And I just find that funny for a game that's been out for like years. Technically, at this point, there's a trial now. That's funny. Oh, I didn't put it up here either. I was also reading that, and you didn't tell me if you played it yet. If it's come out, Horizon Zero Dawn. What was it? Forbidden West, right?
Forbidden West. I have to play it.
I was reading that it's breaking some PS5s.
I saw that. Apparently people were like, we don't have like the article up, but people were like review bombing it because of that. Like people like couldn't play it for some reason. I don't know what the heck happened. But...
now did you buy the PS4 version and get the free upgrade, or did you buy the PS5 like a giga Chad and at $10 extra for?
God, no. I'm not giving Sony any more money. Are you kidding me? And especially, I'm not giving the I forget the name of the company that made it. I'm not giving them any more money until they make a new Killzone game.
That's right. It's the same studio that Killzone?
Yeah, I don't care about Horizon. Give me
Killzone. I thought you liked Horizon.
I do. But I want a new Killzone. I also want a new Resistance.
Yeah, PlayStation doesn't really have any FPS games, right? It's just I mean like competitive FPS one.
Not really. It's Call of Duty. Nobody competes with Call of Duty. That's the problem.
What are you talking about? Crossfire X, the best Xbox Game Pass game ever.
The game that got a 2 and 3 respectively
that game,
for its campaign and multiplayer.
Dude, the trailer was so far off from its actual gameplay. It was disgusting.
Dude,
it's why I hate CGI trailers. And they it was night and day. God, I was like, when I played it for like an hour when it came out because it's on Game Pass, and I'm like, is it me just not having fun, or is it just like an objectively bad game? Because this just feels like a really bad game, and everyone else yeah.
That's like Beyond Good and Evil 2. Remember how they announced that like 10 years ago, right? At E3 or whatever?
Right.
It's still in pre-production. Like they threw together a CGI like movie just to announce it, and they had nothing for the game.
The whole budget. Wrong with that's exactly why I can't stand extended trailers like that. I think it's such a joke that because it literally does nothing for me to know about the gameplay, which is everything I care about. And you just spent, I would imagine, tens of thousands of dollars, if not close to six figures, on CGI trailer that literally does nothing for me. Like, if you're gonna like at least with Street Fighter 6, it was like a minute, and like I mean, it was really simple. It didn't show like any flashy moves, just both of them standing there and talking. But
and like Street Fighter, you know what you're getting,
right?
Like when you buy a Street Fighter,
But it's like God, CGI trailers are like the biggest, like such a lie. And that's like Crossfire X really shows that. And either way, they even said
to take after Nintendo and just like announce games like a month in advance, and that's it. Like when the game is done and ready to be printed, that's it.
The leads for Crossfire X literally said, "Hey, sorry guys, we know this didn't really live up to your expectations, and we're going to try and make it better." I don't know how they're going to do that. Like, it is fundamentally bad. It's not even like a buggy mess. It's literally just not fun. So I don't know what you're going to do there. You can't fix bad. You can fix buggy. You can't fix bad. Either way. So whether well, I'll ask you this. Do you think they'll be able to reach 60 FPS on Xbox Series S for Cyberpunk? You think it's possible?
Yes, but not with the next gen version. I think with the Xbox One and the Xbox One version, probably give it like a medium patch. I don't know how to describe it otherwise.
I didn't realize it.
Is just garbage.
This update was 50 gigabytes. That's, I mean,
the game is like 200 gigabytes now. Yeah.
Jesus. So I mean, look, I'm not gonna fault anyone for buying a Series S, especially when they're more readily available than the X. But it's like,
don't. Just don't.
just don't, please.
Everybody who hasn't bought one, don't.
Yeah, it's like it's unfortunately not worth it. I know you see that like optimized for X and S, but it can be optimized for S. Doesn't mean it's gonna still be like insane. Like,
it's not gonna be good.
Right? Is it whatever? I mean, it is what it is. So good luck to you guys. Good luck, I say. I already talked about the No Man's Sky thing. Well, I like this. So we briefly talked about an episode or two ago about the Dead by Daylight and Ringu is crossover. And at least this, like, I'm not sure if you watched the trailer. I'm putting in my age again, which is 88 for anyone asking on IGN. Like this trailer is like half CGI and half actual gameplay. Like that's a good scene. It's a good trailer. I mean, it shows. It doesn't show like a lot of the gameplay, but it shows like it's there. I know what I'm getting, and it looks really Cool. I love Dead by Daylight. I do. I just it's one of
Yeah.
the few games like where like I was screaming. I was like, oh, this is like in year 1 or 2 where there's like infinite loops, and I just want to hurt
Oh,
people.
it was yeah.
Um,
It literally made me just like want to like break my own fingers. I'd get like so mad, just
I,
like oh
I just love that they added like the particle effects of like the fuzzies on the TV screen. Like
yeah, I love
that
that.
that's a nice touch. I like that. I always like that little like transition effect. Um, and they still haven't announced any like actual specific abilities, but it's going to be happening sooner than later. So that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're still supporting that game. I think it's. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's actually still intensely popular even on Twitch.
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a really good horror game. Speaking of horror,
Yeah,
what have you heard about Martha is Dead?
dude, I have no idea what this game is, but I saw everybody like tweeting and complaining about it. Like, what happened with this game? Why are people upset about it?
I hope that sound doesn't go through. Because apparently there's some really graphic parts, and specifically
Good,
on the
it's a
play.
horror game.
Well, no, that's not
Like,
it. On PlayStation, it's being censored. Like PlayStation, Sony is censoring it for some reason.
great.
The,
Awesome.
the PC and Xbox version of Martha's Dead is both unaffected by these developments and will launch with the full unedited gameplay as planned. Let's see what some. With some elements no longer playable. After 4 years of passion and hard work, developer LKA now requires extra time to make these unplanned changes. As a result, and also this is pushing back the delay of the physical release because they have to change, I guess, what's on the disc, which I don't really understand. But don't worry, the physical will still contain a bonus content and a double-sided poster. Yeah. Yeah, but either way, yeah, it's really weird. I've honestly never heard of a console like censoring a game.
That's what the ESRB is for. It's not
Yeah, right.
their job.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I didn't think about
Yeah.
that. Is that and
Like
they're not even trying
if
to
the
censor
game's
it.
that bad, it'll hit that like adult only rating that like no game ever gets anymore. So I don't know. I guess I'll play it on Xbox then if I'm
This
gonna play it.
content is also flagged clearly and repeatedly within the game itself before play begins. So I guess it's apparently a dark psychological thriller. But I mean, based on the gameplay, I don't really see. I don't know what the creepypasta is exactly. Like I like the coloring and all that, or like the artistic direction and like how dark the game is. But besides that, I don't know what they're gonna censor. Maybe it's like incredibly graphic, but I remember God of War 3, and I remember I remember ripping off Helios' literal head. I remember that. Like that. If that's
Right.
I don't know what's more brutal, literally grabbing someone's head and ripping it off from their neck. But I mean, like unless there's, I don't want to say it, unless there's like an like active non-consensual sexual scene that they're trying to censor, I really don't know what PlayStation could care about. Like I really don't understand it. I've never heard of it. I mean, well, I never heard of this game, mind you. I didn't know it was in development. I didn't know it existed. And I don't know why Sony cares. Like, okay. Again, like you said, the ESRB, right? Wait, what is that?
ESRB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they give ratings to games. And then you're supposed to know as the consumer, like whether you can handle that game or, it's legal or whatever. So this is so weird. Can you think of a time that's ever happened?
No. That's what the whole rating system is for. Like, I've never seen a game have to take something out.
I almost want to title this episode "Martha is Dead" (parentheses) for PlayStation.
It comes out on Thursday, so it honestly is dead. It's not competing with Elden Ring. Sorry.
I'll skip ahead for a second because we just talked about Elden Ring, but on PC it comes out at 6 p.m. on Thursday, and on consoles it's 12 a.m. release day. It's like
why is it so early for PC?
I don't know. This isn't the first time either. Maybe it's just easier. Maybe
that happened with Dying Light, right?
Yeah,
Dying Light 2.
Maybe like Steam just has, or maybe like I guess it has to include Epic too. But maybe like PC just has like more lax restrictions in terms of like release times, versus consoles are
Right.
like you have to release at this like at on the day you're promising. I don't know. I mean, luckily for me, it's like Elden Ring is so big for me that like I would almost buy it just to have that extra time, but I'll be at a concert, so I won't be able to experience it anyway. So,
Right.
but either way, Martha's Dead. Don't know why it's being censored. We will look into it as the investigative journalists we are. Goons, Games, and Gear. We're gonna get that tattooed on our cheeks. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And last but not least, we kind of talked about it before Fallout, but yeah, they came with a roadmap. And apparently this is all the. Did you look at the roadmap?
I did.
Okay, so apparently all of these are not even, well, especially one, but they're like all references or just like past expansions from past Fallout games. Like the pit is
so
literally
cool.
from Fallout 3, Nuker World from Fallout 4, which I don't think anyone really cared about. But apparently the pit is like this will actually be a place you can explore outside of the base map. So it's like actually an expansion to,
Oh, nice.
which is, I mean, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that they're still supporting the game.
Right. They didn't give up on it, and look how much better it's doing now.
Todd Howard, you've done it again.
God bless you, Todd. We haven't talked about you enough lately. Have we told you all about the hit game Skyrim?
What? Do you remember in Fallout 3 when you have to go into like the pod to like be in the stream scenario and you have to help out your dad to get him out? I want that in Fallout 76, but there's a secret way out and it just opens into Skyrim. or maybe when you go in, it just opens Skyrim.
Oh my god, yes.
The ultimate expansion.
Everything leads to Skyrim.
You have to just find your dad in Skyrim. You guys can thank me. Yes, you can. I found a way to incorporate Skyrim into Fallout 76. It's genius. Pay me later. It's all good. You got anything else you want to talk about there before we head out?
No. I think that's it. Everybody have fun. This
week
right. With your Destiny playing and Elden Ring on Friday.
Oh, well, I mean, we're gonna have to have an episode on Friday, but I'm not gonna be happy about it.
We're gonna keep it short, guys. Expect a short episode on Friday. We hope you understand.
You better understand. All right. Well, follow us everywhere. The podcast everywhere. Apple. Apparently, our most known device is Alexa-enabled ones. I don't get that at all. YouTube. We got series going on. We got Twitter. We got personal ones like the Head Goon and Gphone 71195.
Instagram,
Instagram,
Discord,
TikTok,
our website. Let us know.
Website everywhere. Yeah. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you later. Love you.
Bye bye.